therapy is that it can reach a child regardless of their level of functioning. I think that's what makes the medium of music so special, is that we can adapt it to reach a child wherever they're at. There's not separate brain areas for music. Music shares brain areas with other non-musical tasks, such as speech and language, motor tasks, all the different things that a child might be working on in, say, occupational or physical therapy. If music did not share these brain areas with other non-musical tasks, there would be no reason to use it. Music is a powerful stimulus, obviously, that appeals to our emotions. We all know that. So if we can use the medium of music to influence a child's arousal level, this is going to help him or her to become more engaged in the music experience. And when a child becomes engaged with what they're doing, we know that more learning is going to take place.
Emma's world. Emma likes his goldfish, his crayons too. That's Emma's world.
Such deep thought.
Yeah, were you listening to the song? Children with autism are going to respond to, and that's going to help them remediate skills. And music, it's actually been shown that the brains of children with autism do not process music any differently than a typical child, and research actually shows us that, as a matter of fact, children with autism have a heightened interest and response to music. So it kind of makes it the obvious medium to use with them. So Tatum and Logan are brother and sister, and yet we found that they don't really interact with each other that much. And so music is a great way to bring brother and sister together and help them to be more aware of one another's presence. The fun of it is that even though they're siblings, they are so different from one another. They're both on the autism spectrum, but it's a great example of how music is so versatile that the interventions that I do with Logan look so completely different from the interventions that I do with Tatum. I noticed that Logan did not have a lot of purposeful use of his hands.
Ooh, I like
he
it.
enjoyed having lots of fidgets and kind of flapping them and showing some self-stimulatory behavior, but we wanted to find some ways that he could use his hands that were a little bit more purposeful. I've been seeing Logan's sister, Tatum, for about 1 year now in music therapy. She would quite often tell me, just using one word, drum, or whatever she wanted.
Do you like it?
Pictures.
Music therapy is really a fun and playful way for Tatum to learn how to interact with other people in a way that's more socially acceptable and fun.
1, 2, 3, yeah, heartbeat.
And so when we use music, we actually have the ability to change the brain. And research has shown that we can change the brain in as little as 2 weeks. So if there's a skill that a child is working on and we apply music to that skill, it may be easier for them to accomplish it because music is turning on so much of the brain at once. And when you have all of these neurons that are lighting up and talking to each other and synchronizing and firing together, that is when learning can take place. That is when you can change behavior. That's when you have the brain plasticity. And even children with cortical damage may be able to do a skill a different way because of music enabling the brain plasticity.